Hello and welcome to Sports News Africa, the home of Africa's sporting conversation. Let's take a look at the headlines. Kenyan Rugby has become embroiled in a doping scandal. Ghana becomes the latest nation to say no to hosting the AFCON Games in 2015. And adrenaline junkies take to the skies over Kenya. Thank you for joining us. I'm Ehir Longi. An investigation into doping has revealed that steroids were found in supplements given to Kenya's Rugby 7 squad. A report by the task force set up to investigate the claims is now calling for disciplinary hearings to be held against head coach Paul True and 5 of his staff.
A dark cloud is hanging over Kenyan rugby after a report by a task force set up by the government to investigate allegations of doping in sports revealed that the Sevens rugby players have been using banned steroids. The report released earlier this week calls for disciplinary action against head coach Paul True and 5 members of his staff. The report says the supplements were tested in January this year and the players would allegedly consume the steroid-laced supplements before and at the end of each training session. On the streets of the capital, Nairobi, rugby fans like Raymond Otieno blamed the Ministry of Sports for not regularly testing players who represent the country internationally.
Federation of Sports needs to be blamed for not testing guys before they go for those international games. Yeah, because then I don't understand how the sports federation in the country can allow someone to go for international games without being tested, because either way they're going to get tested there. So it's better off if it's found in a contained environment as opposed to when it's already out there to the whole world.
But Onesmus David, also a rugby fan, defended the players, terming the accusations as malice.
So we as Kenyans, we do things naturally. And as you can see, in men's sports, we are performing well. So when people see you are prospering in whatever you are doing, they start doing things, they start maybe accusing you of using such a thing so that people will think that you are using such a drugs so that you win whatever you are winning. But in the real sense, you are not doing that.
Kenya has been on the spotlight lately over allegations of doping in most sport disciplines, especially athletics. Miles Metabole said the report will heavily tarnish the image of the country, which produces the world's best long-distance runners.
You see, they say image is everything. To the country, the image will be taunted, and then you see competition usually goes beyond the borders of this nation, and when the image is such taunted, it is detrimental to the sports competitiveness of the nation with respect to other nations.
Last leg of the Safaricom 7 series.
Otieno added the matter will shatter the dreams of many aspiring sportsmen who look up to the current group as role models.
Definitely it's going to affect the sports industry, people who have invested a lot of their time practicing early morning hours. And also it just limits those people who have an insight to go into like broader aspects in terms of sport, like play for international teams. They might also end up being locked out. So I think it's a dream killer for many people.
The Kenya Rugby Union has not responded to the accusations made by the report, and neither has the World Anti-Doping Agency, who have received the report. If found to be true, Kenya's chances of hosting an IRB 7 circuit could be jeopardized.
The Confederation of African Football seems to be running out of options as it continues to search for an alternative host country for the 2015 Cup of Nations tournament. Morocco's request to postpone the games until 2016 in the wake of the Ebola outbreak had fallen on deaf ears, and the organisers had approached South Africa and Ghana to consider hosting the tournament. First South Africa and now Ghana has become the latest nation to turn down CAF's request.
Several lobby groups in Ghana on Wednesday called on the government to decline an offer by the Confederation of African Football that Ghana hosts January's 2015 Africa Cup of Nations. The groups said that hosting the event would risk the health of the country's citizens due to the potential importation of the deadly Ebola virus. The groups, which include representation by the Ghana Medical Association and Medical Research Center, Ngoshi Institute, say the country is not adequately prepared to handle Ebola cases. Last week, Ghana's Youth and Sports Minister said that CAF had asked Ghana to consider putting itself forward to host the event. Sports analysts in the country agreed with the medical specialists.
At the moment, Ghana has registered no cases so far, and I don't think it is necessary for us to open up our doors to the potential of registering case after case, when right now, by the grace of God, we are protected from the Ebola virus. And I think it's a concern that is echoed from the north to the south and from the east to the west. And wisdom, we believe, would dictate to us that this is not the best thing to do at this particular moment in time.
Agiman added that the tournament will not have any major impact on the economy of the country.
Of course, business will be generated, new business will be generated in the hotels, transportation, telecommunication, and in other service industries such as the provision of food, etc., food and drink. But I think overall it's something that's immeasurable, and it's something that you can't quantify. And I say that because we hosted the Cannes 2008, and I don't remember receiving any report or reading any report on what the benefits of hosting that competition actually was.
Residents of the capital, Accra, also feel that the country is not ready to host the games given the short notice. Ghana would need to find more than $10 million in just 2 months in order to host the games. Kajo Danso, a marketing officer in Accra, urged the government to reject the reported offer by CAF.
If Morocco has rejected the offer to host the AFCON, and the South Africa, who has a lot of resources, even more than Ghana, they have also rejected the offer. They don't see the need or the reason for Ghana to host or accept the offer. I want the government to reject the offer because this Ebola disease is a dangerous disease. And I don't think we have resources to treat people who will be affected by this Ebola.
So far, the death toll from Ebola stands at 4,800 people in the 3 most affected West African countries of Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone.
Meanwhile, there's been a row brewing between UEFA President Michel Platini and the Confederation of African Football after the latter labelled Platini's comments on the issue of deferring the games to a later date as treacherous. Platini had, in recent days, supported calls for the schedule of the biennial showpiece to be deferred in the wake of the World Health Organization's reports about the spread of Ebola. FIFA Executive Committee member Issa Hayatu described Platini's comments as unwarranted and even insulting. It is believed that the two sides have since settled the matter after Platini pointed out that his comments were misinterpreted, and CAF later admitted that it had based its statement on unverified reports of a TV interview by Michel Platini. Now, this next story is not for the faint-hearted, but if it is thrills you seek and an eagle's-eye view of scenic landscape, then you might want to try skydiving over Kenya's south coast. And while many may argue skydiving is not a sport, the people in this next report beg to differ.
Kenya's coastal area of Diani in the south coast is always a favorite destination for large numbers of tourists who troop in for their holidays and good times. But recently, Diani has become a hotspot for sky adventures, where a group of daredevil skydivers invade the coastal blue skies to catch their fun. For the adrenaline junkies, the sky is literally the limit as they leap off a plane some 14,000 feet above ground, with the Indian Ocean providing a panoramic background. The bird's eye view of some of Kenya's breathtaking scenery, wind gushing in their faces and adrenaline pumping, the skydivers plummet towards the ground at speeds of over 250 kilometers per hour. Oh, yes! Moments later, the parachute opens, the straps tighten and the fall is broken, reducing the descent speed. Gary Lincoln, a skydiving fanatic, insisted it is a unique sport in its own right.
Skydiving's nothing like football. I mean, it's, I guess it's an extreme sport. You know, at the end of the day, we're going 4 kilometers above the earth and we're jumping out of a plane and we're coming down at 125 miles an hour. We accelerate to that speed faster than a Formula 1 car, and it's about as close as you can get to proper flying. It's the best thing.
It's hard to explain. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced before I started skydiving. It's a complete, you're in the moment. You're in the absolute moment at that time, and nothing else really matters, and it's amazing. It's beautiful.
With its excellent climate and largely clear skies, skydiving over Kenya's beaches is increasingly becoming popular among locals and visitors. Gary also said skydiving can be both a recreational and competitive sport.
Skydiving, there's various forms. You know, you can either do a tandem like we're doing now, where you're strapped to the front of an instructor and we actually take you on the skydive, so there's minimal training involved. Or you can actually come down to the skydiving school in Diani and learn how to actually jump on your own. And there's so many different things you can do in the sky as well, from falling, different positions, and doing different stuff under canopy. Yeah, it's a very varied sport.
He added that skydiving is the most incredible sport around, and it offers the most incredible scenery to skydive over large areas.
It's the most incredible sport around. You've got the most incredible scenery to skydive over. The views are spectacular, and it's a real rush. You know, it's just the best thing. It's just the only thing that I would consider doing. It's awesome.
Thrill seekers can also enroll in the internationally recognized Accelerated Freefall Program, AFF, which trains people on how to jump off at any registered drop zone anywhere in the world.
And you just threw yourself at it. We need to do it again. That's what I like to hear. Hey, big thumbs up, eh? Absolutely.
Welcome back to Sports News Africa. In football, Cameroon and Nigeria have qualified for the Women's World Cup in Canada next year, after both sides won their semi-finals at the African Championships in Windhoek on Wednesday. Cameroon defeated Ivory Coast 2-1 in extra time. Nigeria sealed their place by edging out South Africa by the same score. Ivory Coast and South Africa will meet on Saturday to decide Africa's final place at the World Cup when they meet in the third-place playoff match. To the European Champions League next, and Brendan Rodgers conceded Liverpool had been taught a lesson after Real Madrid swept to an imperious 3-0 victory that left his side in severe danger of Champions League elimination. Rodgers' team were powerless to prevent the holders from cementing their position on top of Group B with a ruthless demolition job at Anfield on Wednesday. And that's the end of Sports News Africa for today. Join us again tomorrow when we bring you all the latest from Africa and around the world. Bye for now.